Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Elrond's Egld token. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now, I also have two donation links down below in the description if you want to support Ukraine's refugees, then please go over to the official websites and donate through them. Of course, that's if you want to do that. All good if you don't want to. Let's jump into the TA. So we're on the daily chart. This is pulled from Binance on TradingView. So going straight to the falling wedge here that we looked at in the last video, we had a target at $57 roughly, and that has been met and then some. So you almost got to the 0.382 here at $59.64. And as you can see, that's the last time you wicked there at the end of August, and you got rejected back down. So there is some sort of a resistance level here, and there's the fib, obviously. So this could be our local high for now. We may come back down to retest the 20 EMA, but I do have to say, Egld is doing relatively bullish compared to all the other markets. Bitcoin is not looking very good right now, and as you can see, Egld is pumping. And well, I wouldn't call this necessarily pumping. This is basically not dumping. And we had a very nice retest of the 20 and the 55 EMA here. October 13th through October 15th. Nice bounce and a move to the upside. So as always, 20 EMA on the daily. Very good entry point. And that would have been a nice 12% trade for anyone who entered. And obviously we had this nice retest here, October 13th. And the last update was on October 8th. So you had this wick all the way to the 786, which I gave you in the last video. And from there to the technical target of the pattern, that would have been a very nice 13% trade. And to where we are right now, or to where we actually wicked, that's a nice 16.7% trade. So if you have your limit orders, this goes to show if you have your buy limit orders set up in advance, you're going to be able to take advantage of these wicks and take advantage of these squeezes. Now, obviously, this is when the interest rates were raised and the, or not the interest rates, the inflation data came out October 13th, and obviously all the markets dumped. Well, not really dumped, but we had these long wicks to the downside, and Egld recovered from that relatively quickly. So for now, I still have $50.50 over here as your major support level. Okay, so from where we are right now, that is a 12% pullback. Okay, so if you want to set up buy limit orders throughout this area here, that's all good in my opinion, because if you zoom out and you take a look at the price action, you can see that you're relatively in the same zone here, right? You're just trading in this little area, and look where the price was a year ago, right? You were sitting above 300, above $400, you even got to $500 at some point. So it goes to show that right now there is not that much, it's not that risky buying into Egld. Over here, that was, maximum risk. Right now, this is minimum risk. There is still some risk, right? The project could turn out to be a scam, which I'm 99% sure it isn't. Or, for example, we can lose internet, right? The entire world can lose internet for a day and everything's going to be gone. Anything can happen, but if you do your research and you are very bullish on this project and you know what the project is about and you know the capabilities, then you just want to dollar cost average in at these lower prices, build up a good position, and when we get to the next bull market, there's a very good chance that we're going to at least retrace to this all-time high. In fact, I do think we're going to get over that and potentially get to $800. Okay, so that's what I think. That's just my personal opinion. Now, moving to some other support levels that we may retest. So obviously, November 2nd, we have the next FOMC meeting happening in the US, and I think we're gonna see another 75 basis point hike. And this means that crypto is probably gonna go down and all the risk on assets as well. So this means that we should be ready with some cash on our side and probably have the cash on the exchange already, because you don't know if there are going to be any technical issues once again. And by technical issues, in quotations, I mean when the exchanges don't allow you to deposit money because the prices are falling very quickly and they don't want you to buy the cheap prices, so to speak. So they just don't allow deposits, and they say that, oh, we're overwhelmed with transactions, so we're closing the deposits for now. That's just not the case. They just don't want you to buy the cheap prices because all the whales are buying up the bottom of the wicks, right? And when the deposits are opened back up, the price would have already recovered. That's how they trick you. So just have some stable coins ready and set to go. And obviously this support here at 46.4 or 46.3, this is going to be a very important level for us to hold. And I do think this can be held unless Bitcoin decides to dump to $14,000. In that case, I would be looking at a lower level, and we could potentially look at $36 here. Okay, so our June low is all the way down here. Okay, that's at $38. And right now we are something like 50% above that, right? Yeah, 51% from that low. So in a bear market, 50%, that's incredible. Okay, especially considering that this is a higher cap altcoin. I think the market cap is above $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken. So there is money to be made in these markets, even in a bear market. You just have to invest patiently, and you need to wait, guys. That's all I can tell you for these bear markets. Just invest, dollar cost average, do your research, get smarter in the crypto sphere, because the last bull market should have taught a lot of people a lot of lessons. And I certainly learned a lot of lessons, and I'm not going to repeat those mistakes the next bull market. So this is our opportunity to become wealthy together. So let's just be smart about this, and let's try to support each other. So like I said, $36, very important level here in case we start losing this low, because this is the 1.61, actually not this low. I'm talking about this low, June 30th, because that's where the fib is set up. So we have a swing high over here, and we have our swing low over here. You start losing that, you're going to be looking at the 1.618 as your technical target, and that could happen fairly quickly. We can see a little correction, then potentially Bitcoin dumps to $14,000, let's say. You have a large, enormous wick on a lot of altcoins, and then you have the incredibly fast recovery, and you're going to be 50% plus the next couple of days. That's how it usually happens, okay? So yeah, that's regarding the daily chart. If I jump into the daily RSI, you have the green support trend line that we have retested multiple times this year, 3 touches. Potentially you could see another one sometime in November, December, maybe January, if we see a pullback during that period of time. And you have this diagonal ascending resistance trend line. We've hit it multiple times since May, and we had a little fake out here in August because that pump was a bit stronger than all the previous ones. But we can potentially run into this one if we see a little pump moving into November, because we usually see pumps in October to November, but this time around we're in a bear market, so obviously we either have a smaller pump or we don't have it at all, right? I was expecting a pump, to be honest with you. I was expecting the crypto markets to appreciate somewhat in October, but we haven't really seen that right now. At least talking about Bitcoin and all the higher cap altcoins. Well, except for Cosmos Atom, of course. Atom is doing great. Atom is doing incredible things. So just be on the lookout. We may run into this resistance trend line here on the daily, and that would be a good opportunity to take some profits. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart on the Binance website. Okay, moving over to the weekly chart, I just want to show you 3 major levels that I have on the weekly chart. So this is going to be a bit different. So we have 35.3, we have $45, and we have 66.8. So the first level I have as 35.3 because this is the high that we printed in August of 2020, and we haven't retested that as support as of yet. So potentially we may dump all the way down to $35.37, and that's that price again from the previous chart. So there goes more confluence to the fact that we may retest this level. Next up, you have $45, and that's because you have these two perfect retests of this level, once in June, once again here in September. So this is looking like a very nice double bottom pattern. And if we indeed start breaking above, we break above the 20 EMA, we break above our local high here, we may be looking at a nice target to the upside. So that target would be $99, so around $100. And that's only if we start breaking above the swing high that we created in August, because that's how the double bottom pattern works. Now, if you start losing this low and you continue back down, obviously the double bottom pattern is invalidated at that point, okay? So then I'd be looking at 35.4 on the weekly chart. This is the weekly, keep in mind. And we have the log scale on as well. And jumping into the weekly RSI, as you can see, the RSI has been in a recovery phase here, but considering the previous highs, we're still printing a lower high. Okay, we're still printing a lower high. You need to start at least breaking this high for me to say that, hey, we may be somewhat bullish. Because if you're not breaking resistance, you're bearish, right? Because you're losing support, and in that case, you have more targets to the downside. Moving over to the stochastic, so this is the stochastic, not the stochastic RSI, but the stochastic or the stock, and I have the settings set up as 2833 so that we have less false signals, and we are in the oversold here. We are in the oversold. We've never been here on the Binance chart, and we've been here since January this year. So this is a good accumulation phase for Elrond, and once you get back up to this area above the index of 80, at that point you're overbought, and that's a good time to start taking some profit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.